All right, thank you for sending in the video. And I think my first observation I notice is it feels like you're very heavy-handed and perhaps using way too much effort to try and play the notes. Um, Now, when you went to legato, it did seem like you had some pretty good speed there, so that was good to see. But I think you're being a bit too aggressive with the picking, especially to try and hit those kinds of speeds. So, some things you could try, and probably a good idea just start with some kind of picking thing, right? Now, based on that thing that you played, we're looking at doing like 3 notes per string here, right? So if I eliminated all the left-hand work, we'd end up with something like this. But it might be better to do something like... That could be a good thing to do right there, just to see how your picking hand does. In fact, maybe let's try that. And also, like when you do send stuff in, totally send it with the metronome, because that's a huge important part. The timing. Because if the timing is off, if the rhythm's off, then that's a huge problem. So you're welcome to send in a practice session where you work something up from following that metronome method, going 60, 65, 70, and all through those speeds there, and just kind of show me what it's like when you max out. So don't worry about the video length really. So what I'll do, if you can send in a video practice session, as I'll see, how does it sound at the beginning? Is your timing good? And then I'll go to the middle of the video and see, okay, is it still good there? Is it starting to waver or anything like that? And then also, of course, look at the end and make sure that it sounds good at the end too, and just kind of figure out, like, okay, well, is it sounding good through the whole thing? Is it starting to falter at any point? Things like that. So I think it'd be good if you focus on like smoothing out the picking, feeling a bit okay with that. Let's see. There's all kinds of ways of going about this. Actually, let's put a thing together here real quick. Let's put something together. And let me switch over to this. That didn't show up properly. One moment. Okay. So I used to start people out doing like speed picking things on the low E string, because most of us find it easier to play fast on the lower E string. Problem is, man, that microphone is hot. Problem is, 1, 2, 3, check, check, check. Okay, that looks better. I swear, the settings on this video recording software, I don't touch it, and then like the volume on the microphone is always going up and down, like as loud as it's supposed to be. Like the maximum volume keeps changing whenever I reopen the program, even though I touch nothing. Anyway, hopefully that wasn't too distorted there. Yeah, so because most of us can play faster on the low E, I thought it's a good idea. Let's just start playing there, and then we work up to the harder strings later. Problem I've found with that is it's not as easy to hear things. So let's start something kind of simple here and see where you get with it. We'll do 16th notes to start with because, well, it's a bit easier to kind of follow, I believe. And let's get, let's see, maybe something to where you can work on like an actual practice thing instead of just like a small part. Sorry, I'm like kind of like thinking out loud as we go here. Let's do that. Some harmonic minor in there. Okay. And let's adjust this. So a little bit of strategy here I'm going to go over. I'm going to send this to you. Hopefully you got Guitar Pro. I'll make a PDF as well, just in case you don't. If you don't have Guitar Pro, I highly recommend it. Super, super helpful. So I wouldn't recommend working the whole thing to begin with. Start in small pieces here. And same thing with the repetition stuff. Now, because I've only seen what you've shown so far, what I'm going to recommend doing is you start with just this amount here and see where you get with that. Now, a minimum goal I have with students is getting 16th notes up to at least 180. It's on the screen right now. This is because from what Troy Grady has found in all his research about 80s shred guitar players, 180 is about the average shred guitar speed. So I figure that's a good place to shoot for. So I'm going to demonstrate this at some different speeds here, just to make sure you understand how it's supposed to sound and all that. And yeah, let me know, if you know anything about rhythm, if you need to learn about rhythm, all that stuff. There's tons of things we can always cover. All right, so here it is at 60. Count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then that's it there. So, the goal here, following that metronome method, is you just play it correctly one time, not 2 times, not 3, not a bunch. Just one and done. That's it. And then you go up 5, just 5, until you can't, and keep doing that until you max out. So this video is not crazy long. I'm going to go play just a few different speeds here. So here's how it should sound at 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here it is at 140. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, make sure that you can hear all 4 notes that you pick. So you're hearing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure it's all very clear to you. And at any point, if you doubt that your accuracy with it, assume that it wasn't accurate and don't move on. So you only go up when you played it perfectly. It's got to be perfect. Only perfect practice makes perfect. So here is that goal speed of 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So when you're able to hit that at 180, then you can start working on 2 bars at a time. So you're basically just kind of easing into longer and longer things. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you can do that, you add another bar. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the whole thing without the repeats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, You don't have to stop at 180 either. I mean, if you can go further, do it. Absolutely. Go as fast as you possibly can with it. And then once you, reach a high speed, you can start adding in your repetitions. So let's say, for example, without the repeats, maybe you make it all the way to 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a bit tiring. So once you've done that, so you reached a max speed, maybe it was 240. Now if it's a true max, there's no way you're going to be able to do repetitions with it. So what I recommend doing is you drop it 10 and see if you can play through it twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you can do that, try it 3 times. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's kind of painful. All right, so then after that, shake your arm out, give yourself a little break. Then try like 4 times through, because if you can do that, that's pretty dang good. I think so anyway. But let's say, again, maybe it doesn't really matter what number. I'm just picking numbers for example here. Maybe 230, you can get it 3 times, but you just can't do 4. So after a few really solid attempts of trying to play it all 4 times, you just can't get it. Just drop a 10, try again. Let's see if you can get it there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once you can do something like that, I mean, your picking should be pretty solid. So maybe let's trade out. Since we got the 2 videos to do each month, take at least a week of really working on this, maybe 2, and then kind of send in your results there. Maybe send in a practice session, and let's see where you get there. So, watch this many times as you need to. Take notes to help yourself out. But basically the strategy was, using the metronome method, starting at 60, working it up as fast as you can, and see, max out with just that much. And then the next thing to do is go over 2 bars, and you always want to go to the next note as well. This way you have a very good place to stop, because you could technically end right here, but when you're going really fast, it's pretty difficult to tell if you ended on the appropriate 16th note. So much easier to know, like, yep, I landed on the metronome click there, and that was good. So it's just easier to end on a downbeat like that. So anyway, you get 2 bars maxed out, then you go for 3, and then go for all 4, and then once you can do that, you can start adding in repetitions. So what I like to do with the repetition stuff, or why I like to do it, is it can help solidify the new speeds that you reached. So that's something I have students do, is they work something up, and then after they reach a max speed, I have them decrease their speed a little bit and then try and do some repetitions there. So not only are they working on keeping things accurate and the rhythm all good as they slowly go faster in the same practice session, but after they've maxed out in that session, then they drop it down and they kind of solidify the new speed by getting those reps in. So hope all that makes sense. There is a video linked in my email signature that talks about how to practice your lessons. So you can definitely get a lot of good stuff out of that. It won't look exactly the same as what we have here, since we're doing a very kind of a bit of a brief, kind of just a little bit of things here and there, right? But anyway, the principles talked about how to practice your lessons in that video be very helpful, like how to know when to increase the speed, what to do when mistakes are made, and things like that. So definitely recommend watch that. It's going to be very helpful. And let's see where you get in the next week or so with this. Any questions, please let me know. I will talk to you soon.